Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with chapter 1. This is Simon is 10 years old and Mary's visitation by an angel. Hello, my name is Simon. I am 10 years old. I live in Capernaum. My best friends are Mordecai and Eli. They are younger than I am. Mordecai is 9 years old and Eli is 8 years old. We play together every day. Our house isn't the biggest house in town, but it's big enough for us. I have my own room, and so does my little brother Andrew. Then there's Mama and Papa. Their names are Jonas and Joanna. My favorite place in my house, besides my bedroom, is the summer house on the roof. Sometimes it gets very hot here, and so we sleep, play, and eat our meals up there. We have a white cloth canopy attached over the top so it lets the breeze come through and protects us from the sun. I can see the way into the desert up there and as well as the sea from the other side. One day while Mordecai and Eli were at my house playing, Mama came and asked if we would like to taste a special food she was making. She has a big garden beside our house and grew a few vegetables there. You see, Mama was very excited about the wedding that was coming up. She said it was going to be a very nice wedding, and the party afterwards would probably last for 3 days. The bride's name was Mary. She lived 4 houses down from us with her parents, Joachim and Anna. Mary was a pretty girl, and I think Mordecai had a crush on her. Mary always said hi to us if she saw us outside. She called me Red sometimes because of my red hair, I guess. We told Mama that the food was very good, and she went back into the house. Eli said, "Simon, let's go to the chariot races." So Morty, Eli, and I started running toward the fields where the races were going to be. The Roman soldiers had races and contests almost every day. We liked to watch the contest after we did our chores at home. On the way out of town, we noticed a very bright light coming out of Mary's house. So we stopped and crouched down under the window to see what was going on. Eli was the first to take a peek inside, but he couldn't say a word. He just motioned for us to take a look. In Mary's house was a man dressed in a white robe and a bright light all around him. It was so bright and beautiful that Mary looked a little scared, but she was talking with the man anyway. Eli crouched down and said, "Let's go. We're going to miss the races." So off we ran, but I decided to ask Mary about it later. The race was great that day. The Roman soldiers seemed to have outdone themselves with the prettiest chariots I'd ever seen. Eli just about got ran over by one of them. We have to watch out for him, you know. The horses that were pulling the chariots were huge. There were 4 races, 2 with 2-wheeled chariots and 2 with 3-wheeled chariots. One of the chariots had golden decorations on it, while the others had carved ivory figures. They lined up, and then one soldier cracked his whip on some rocks to signal the start of the race. Off they went as fast as those horses could run. They were almost out of sight in just a moment, but then they turned around and back toward us they came. We all moved back because they were coming fast. Well, the one with the gold on it won. The Roman soldier who was driving it was such a big man, but I could tell he wasn't as strong as my papa. It was about supper time, so we headed back to town. On the way back, we passed Mary's house. She was praying beside her window, so we didn't stop to ask her about the man we saw with her earlier. A few weeks later, Mary was loading a bag onto a travel wagon. It looked like she was going on a trip. So I ran over to her, and she said she was going to visit her cousin Elizabeth in another town. Mary said she would be gone for a few months so she could help her cousin with a new baby. I told her goodbye just as Morty come running up. Mary had to explain the whole thing to him, too. Morty was very sad the rest of the day. So we found Eli and we all went fishing down by the seashore.